This video gives an overview of the teaching episode analysis project from EHS615, especially the first video you'll need to collect. The whole project is one of the high-stakes projects in the course, and in the project you will show through video that you're actually able to impact student learning. You'll collect 3 videos in the project, one in January, one around the 1st of March, and one in April. As you collect those videos, you'll show how your teaching is improving, and you'll also show how you're actually getting students to change their understanding of science. In other words, to truly learn it. Probably that will happen, that change that you'll show will happen in video 3. The rest of this video talks about the first video you'll collect, which is the baseline video. The purpose of the first video, which you should collect sometime in January, hopefully as soon as you can, is to show your teaching as it is now before you start learning anything in the course. It's a baseline video. Don't feel like you need to show off. Don't feel like you need to do a dog and pony show. Don't feel like you even have to do your best ever lesson for the video. It's best for you now not to try and do a showcase lesson. Instead, in video 1, you want to show just what good science teaching is to you right now where you are in your practice. You want to capture that in a video, as I said, between sometime before the end of January, so it is truly a baseline, and you can capture that as soon as you're ready to do so. One of the decisions that you'll want to make is to which class of the ones that you teach that you want to video. It's best in the overall project if you video the same class for videos 1, 2, and 3. That's not an absolute requirement, so you can change if you need to later on. But in selecting the class, a couple of things to keep in mind. Don't necessarily select your best and your brightest students, an AP class. Sometimes they aren't the best ones to show interaction on a video. Also, make sure not to pick a class that is your worst one discipline-wise. You don't want to document classroom management problems and behavior problems in your video. One of the logistical things that you'll have to take care of is release forms that your students and their parents sign, releasing them to be on video. You'll need to check at your school. Some schools have video releases that the students sign at the beginning of the year, blanket releases. If your school is one of those, then you'll need to get a copy of that to me, and it could be a statement from your principal or someone in charge there that video releases are on file rather than the actual video releases themselves. If your school doesn't have that policy, then you'll have to collect a release from each student. I'll give you some guidance in the course itself on what those releases can look like based on national board information. But those releases will have to go home with the students. They'll have to come back signed. If any student hasn't signed, then you can't show their face or any identifying information in the video. In other words, you'll have to edit their video image out. So it's going to be best if you can choose a class where you can get video releases from all the students. Your next decision after you get the video releases started is to get a camera, a digital camera, and start playing around with it to learn the technology. The end result of your videos is going to be 4 or 5 edited clips, with each clip being 2 to 4 minutes in length. So you won't turn the whole video into me. You won't turn it in on DVD either. LiveText users will upload the clips to LiveText. Keep in mind that that's the final form. Digital clips, 2 to 4 minutes in length. Keep that in mind as you choose the camera that you're going to use. You might be able to borrow a camera from a friend. Your school might have a camera that's available for you. You may have your own personal camera that you will want to use. If you have any problems locating a camera, let me know and I'll see what I can do to help. You'll want to play with the camera because part of doing this project is knowing how to run the technology of the camera well. Start playing with it, see how to use it, and you'll actually want to start playing with shooting video in your classes. Excuse me. Students are going to have to get used to you taking video. Some of them, especially if you teach middle school, they're going to play and act out and wave in front of the camera. And the first video you shoot probably won't be a good one. You'll make mistakes. So I encourage you to get the camera, start playing well before the date that you want to shoot the first official video one, so you're used to it. As far as the video itself, you have to have reasonably good video and audio quality. It doesn't have to be perfect. It doesn't have to be something that could be shown in theaters nationwide. I expect glitches and bobbles in both the video and the audio quality. But if you're teaching a teacher-centered lesson, I need to be able to see you teach, and I need to be able to hear what you're saying. Many video ones are teacher-centered. Later on, you'll do some interactive videos. You may even do an interactive portion for video one. So if you're interacting with students, it's important that I be able to hear what most of the students say. Because, as you can imagine, if it's an interactive video and I'm only hearing what you say, I really can't tell what's going on in the lesson. Stopping for a second, I'm looking at my notes, and I thought I had more to go over, but I may have actually covered everything. So let me reiterate and see if anything else comes to mind. The bottom line is, right now you're trying to show through a video a baseline of your teaching. So your goal, I haven't told you much about the editing, I'll tell you that later, but your goal right now is to capture on video one lesson that you teach. So I'm thinking there 45, 50 minutes. If you're on the block, it could be longer, but you don't have to record the whole block. You could record just a portion of it. The video of you teaching one good lesson as you determine good science teaching now. You'll capture that, and you'll also get the releases in place so that you'll be able to bring that video to UAB, and I'll be able to review it knowing that parents have given permission for their students to be videotaped. The only thing that I can think of left to talk about is the special circumstances that some of you may be under. So I can think of 3 groups. If you're a full-time teacher, probably this is all going to be fairly straightforward for you because you have your own students and you have control of your own classroom. The only hitch for you is you probably won't have anybody available to help you actually shoot the video like a student teacher would. Student teachers, you need to explain the project to your cooperating teacher and see if they have any concerns with it. Feel free to show them this video if you want to. Your work on this project shouldn't disrupt what you're doing in student teaching or what the teacher's doing in the classroom. Often what happens is that cooperating teachers get on board with the project. They recognize the value that the video has for videoing yourself has for student teachers, and often the cooperating teachers are the ones who will actually run the camera and shoot the video for you. But I need to have from you, once you run this past your cooperating teacher, an email explaining to me that you've done so, with a CC to your cooperating teacher, so that I can know that your cooperating teacher is on board and doesn't have any concerns. And then finally, those of you who are doing guest teaching with EHS615, your procedure is pretty much the same as those who are student teaching. You'll want to explain the purpose of the video project to your guest teacher. Again, you can show them this video if you want to, and make sure that they're on board. And then when they are, then send me an email with a CC to that teacher telling me how you've explained the project and the teacher's on board. If you have questions, post them to the virtual office, and I will see what I can do to help you with that. Hope you enjoy doing your first video, and I think you'll learn a lot from this project.